playing professional baccarat for the full-time player or the side hustler, winning every night, showing you exactly how you can do it too. Also articulating ways that you can start your own small business working as a baccarat player and building your bankroll as you go and then extending your bets to higher amounts. Although I'm no fan of big high bets because it puts you in a position to where if you do lose several hands in a row, you may have a bet out there that's a little higher than you want. But you got to do what you got to do because this is going to deliver the money for you. You got to have the patience and the discipline to stick at it. But I do say it's a lot easier if you have the largest bankroll you can have and you play for the smallest session amount. Like if you only need $100 out of a session, play for the $100. You can play it just the same way we do, the way I show it every time. The units are 1, 3, 7, 11, 17, 23, 31, 40, 50, 60, going up and down as is necessary, losses and wins, getting your money. And as soon as you have the money that you've been targeting at, you get out of the game. Come back and do it again some other time, but play it often as you want and get your money. Hey, Dagsy. Dagsy's on the edge. Now, he doesn't have any choice. He's playing online, which is a tricky thing to do. But Dagsy's a good player. He knows the risks of being online doing it, and he also has almost no options at doing that based on the casino's distances from where he is. But Dagsy plays in precisely the right way. He plays the smaller units, larger bankroll, gets his money, and finishes up. So, Paul O'Brien, my friend, good evening. How are you? How's everything over there in Terre Haute? Chuck Ritter, saying hello to all of you out there from Chuck Ritter from up in Wisconsin. Lester Castaneda, good evening. Good to have you. And Bill Latta. Yes, sir. How you doing, Bill? Joe Gorecki, good friends coming in tonight. That's so nice. I'm going to begin tonight, as soon as we get a couple more in the house, I'm going to begin tonight to talk a little bit about that game last night and what I foresee or what I saw as either underreported or not reported conditions regarding that game that had me very, very concerned about the possibilities of Indiana being able to win. Of course, being here where I am, as I say, in the center of the universe here in the Midwest, I'm right now, tonight, I'm in the middle of the IU campus, right in the heart of the campus. And good evening. Hey, this X7733, I'm almost certain this is JP. So I'm trying to refresh my memory. If this is JP, yeah, man, how you doing? So here in the middle of the campus, they have a convenience store gas station. That's the gouging gas station. I mean, the real gouging gas station of the town. And they always have the highest gas prices in the town. They do again now. Most of the prices of gasoline in the town are around $2.59 a gallon right now. President Trump's initiative to create more oil through many ways of doing it and being energy conscious for our country has lowered the prices of gas. And I wish that everyone would at least celebrate the good things about that. Even no matter what political stripe you are, we do want to pay less at the gas pump. And so we are paying less at the gas pump than we have in years. But this place is a gouger, man. This place even, I've never seen it below $3. This particular place in the middle of the campus is designed to trap the students because a lot of times students don't leave the campus very much. And so this gas here is $3.39, $3.29 all the time. But tonight, I don't know if you can see that, but it's $2.99 at the gouging gas station. Even they've been forced to go under $3. So they're at $2.99 tonight. That's kind of interesting. And oh wow, selling regular for $2.43. See, that's really, really good. When you get to the point that you can put 10 gallons of gas in the car for $24, man, that's pretty nice. So hey, Michael Steinfeld, how you doing? Okay, so I hadn't studied Miami Hurricane football team very much because with the two losses they had on their record are kind of ugly losses, and so I wasn't expecting them to progress all the way to the title game, and so I didn't pay much attention to them. And of course, Indiana went out to L.A. and won in the Rose Bowl. Then they went down to Atlanta and then won in the Peach Bowl, and came back here and got ready to go down to play the championship game at the Miami Hurricanes home field, and wasn't sure that that's who they were playing, but sure enough, that's who it was. And so I began to look into this team, and although they were a little erratic during the year, they were a very, very talented team. And of course, they had Georgia quarterback, the 6-year student, playing quarterback for them, and ranked as one of the top quarterbacks in the nation. But they also were very big. The Miami team is very big. They were much bigger than IU at almost every position. And it's not that IU is a small team. They're not. It's just that, Miami had one lineman that was 6'9", 345. It's hard to get any bigger than that. I don't know. I don't even know if Goliath was that big. That man was huge. But so IU had their work cut out for them by going against a team that size, when IU is actually a finesse team. Their defense operates off of speed. Their offense operates off of finesse, and the running backs are fast and agile, and wide receivers can catch balls that are thrown in varying places. And so that's what's carried IU through the season, is those kind of skill sets. They've never overpowered a team on just strength and brute, which was one of the things that happened in the Ohio State game, where we only won 13-10 because we were getting beat up. But anyway, they did get the win, and they're going down there to play. And so I had a lot of trepidation about the game. And then when I saw that the officiating crew selected for the game was the Big 12 crew. Now, the Big 12 crew that does Texas Tech games, Houston games, Brigham Young games, they are notorious for allowing rough play. They're not so quick on whistles and flags for a lot of grabbing and pushing and even leading with the head occasionally on tackles. That crew allows a lot of playing. They have a creed of let them play. And so I knew that it was going to be difficult, but then the rumor came out that the Miami head coach had instructed his team to headhunt against Fernando. And so I was going to watch and see how it went, and sure enough, very quickly, he caught a helmet right in the face, and it didn't go with any call. And I do believe it affected his play in the first half, because he was getting hammered a lot, and there were no calls being made. But they still managed to carve out a 10-0 halftime lead. And then, of course, the famed touchdown that Fernando scored on, it was a touchdown that was brought about mostly out of anger and drive, of wanting to, you're not going to deny me. You've been beating me up all night. I'm not going to stop. And when he got to the 4-yard line, of course, he bowled his way over and then dived in. And that one, I jokingly said, that's going to be a poster that every IU student is going to have in their home for the rest of their lives, because this kind of thing of being 16-0 and overcoming that, playing Miami on their home field with officials that were very, very much aligned to the way they play, and that their team in and of itself is a very large and powerful team. So I think it was kind of interesting, though, that Fernando was from Miami and tried to get on the Miami team, and they wouldn't even let him walk on. And also that the interception that sealed the game at the end was Jamari Sparks, who also played high school football in Miami. So the two Miami players on the IU team were the key players to a whole lot that went on in that game. And so I was thinking, well, maybe we ought to just start scouting high school players in Florida, because they seem to have a whole lot of them. But that was a great ending to a memorable season of football here in Bloomington. And there's going to be a parade in town. It'll be like the parade of all parades to end all. And the team just got back in tonight. So good stuff there. Dagsley says in Australia, our equivalent fuel price is $4.28, and you're on a cheap cycle at the moment. Well, you know, it must have something to do with how fuel has to be moved and the cost of all that. I'm not aware of how much oil is in Australia, or if they produce their own, or if they have to import all of it. But yeah, that's I sure hope you don't have to drive very far, Daisy. But if you said that 428 is on the cheap end of the cycle at the moment, well, cheap is a relative term. So 235 Joe Gorecki says, hey, Trish, good evening. Congratulations to Hoosiers. Much appreciated. They overcame a lot of things. I said that if you had a Big Ten officiating crew and the game had been played in Bloomington at Memorial Stadium on the Hoosiers' home field, okay, now you've got the 45-10 score then. But they went down, they played on the Miami field with Miami-type officiating crew, and the Hoosier Nation surely showed up. So it was all good. So we will go on from there and see, can they replicate at least being in the mix again next year? That'll be a lot of fun. So fully imported, that's your reason, Dagsy, that's the truth. Okay, so we are in, let's see, 4-7. This is the seventh edition of BL LLC. We started with a $20,000 bankroll, and we need a single banker to trigger our bets, and we will bet 1, 2, or 3 times. And we've won $250 each night, and grown and 450 one night just by accident because we had a losing streak, and then we won 2 big ones. But I like to start, I used the 13711, of course, $25 units. So I like to start at the $175 level, because that level puts us at a position that if you can win the first hand, drop down to 75 and win the second hand, you've got your 250 in 2 hands and you're out. So that's why I started there. I know that there is a chance you can run into a buzzsaw out of the gate and you can get yourself into some deep water, but BLLC has $20,000 bankroll, and actually, right this moment as we speak, he has $21,700. Oh, well, Trish saw some of the game. Yeah, well, I hope you saw Fernando's signature touchdown. That was quite a dramatic thing on 4th and 5 to run a quarterback draw like that from the 13-yard line, but they did. And they pulled it off because, you know, if you're there to win, you're there to win. So you're going to play that way. So lots of good things happening, and no disgrace for the Miami team. They came and they brought it, and they surely played very hard. So let's begin. We have a single banker up there, and so let's begin with the $175 bet. Not on the tie, Harold. Come on. With a $175 bet, so this is 25, 75, 175, 275. It's the same thing, 1, 3, 7, 11, 17, 23, 31. But with $25 units, we're looking to get $250. Trish saw it. That was as fine a play as you're going to see in football. That was grit and determination from a quarterback that was mad about getting hit all game long the way he had, and he was wanting to return some of the favors. So let's go here with the 175 beginning bet. We started at 17,000. I mean at 19,539,000. So we're looking to get the 19,539,250. Let's see if we can get there or not. It starts with a $175 bet off of a single banker, and here we go. And this is what you fear when you start there, because now you go to 275 on the banker. Good. You always like a little adversity, because now this is a 425, just a third bet. Win or lose, this is the last bet that we make in this sequence. A tie is about the best we can do tonight, folks. Lost 3 in a row. Okay, so we lost at 425. The next bet is at 525, and we have to have a single banker to do it. No wins, but not a bet there. I got to keep up with my bet over here. Player is defying all the odds here. I mean, the banker only has a little tiny edge, and the player is very hot right now. Gosh, Dagsy, that's tough. Okay, we got a banker win, and our bet is $5.75. And we got our first win. Okay, so the win was at $5.75, and we go down in one level to $4.25 on the next bet, but we don't pursue anymore because we won our bet. The sequence it has a 3-bet sequence. You lose 3 or you win 1 at any point. So now we need to have a player win and then flip back over to a banker to trigger the next bet at $4.25. There's 2 banker wins. And the banker tries to catch up here. A little streak going for him. A player wins, so if we get a banker win, we're going to come back in with a $425 bet. And there it is. So we're going to try with we lost at 175, 275, 425 the first 3 hands. Then we won at 575. So we go back down to 425 to try to get a win here. 1, 2, or 3 bets. There's the natural. So right now we are up $75. We've lost 3 hands, won 2, but we're $75 ahead. And as I want to say, if 75 is good for you, if you felt shaky because you lost those first 3 hands, then back out of it right now. But our next bet is 175. We don't keep betting now. We wait for the next for it to flip back over to player and come back to banker. The single banker triggers us. So there's no bet. Hey, Kevin, good evening. Now we came over to the player. We're looking for a single banker win, and we have a $175 bet. And there it is. So we're going to try $175 here. This is where we started. We started at 175 and lost. We lost at 275. We lost again at 425. Then we won at 575, and then we won at 425. So rather than go down to 275, no need for that. We can jump down 2 notches here, just using discretion as the better point of valor here. So we have a $175 bet on the banker because we have the single banker there. That's the trigger. And so with the 175 bet, there's our attempt. Losing at 175, we try a 275 bet. Up 1 level. Got a push there. Naturals on both sides. And that player is hot. So we have to go back up to 425 again. 425 on the 3rd level. So winning at 425 now, we're ahead $29. So ahead for $29, trying to get to 250, I'm actually going to have to bet 275 next time. But that one on the third try. So we're going to have to get a flip back over to the player, come back to a single banker, and we'll come back in with a 275 bet. Banker getting some wins now. There's a player win. We're ahead $29, as I said. And there's the single banker. So we're going to go to a $275 bet. We could revise this and make up our own bet because we're trying to get to 250. You could bet 225 here, but it kind of knocks you off the cycle. So we're going to bet the 275. And with that win, you can see we're at 19,539,290. We needed to get to 19,539,250. So we won an extra $40. And as I say, BLLC now has $40 that he can take his wife out to dinner on the way home. He can put the 250 in the bank, and now he has $21,950. He's almost ahead $2,000 here on this 7th session. And we're playing for a 250 session win, having the discipline to leave at $250. This is a real solid way to play. You saw that we didn't have any particular good fortune tonight. This kind of was a mixed bag of wins and losses, but it proves that the bet, it matters the most, and we stay the course on our selection sequence. If we look here, you can see all of these player wins. One of the strengths of this is these player wins mean nothing to us, because what happens here is we play nothing because we need a single banker to trigger a bet. There was the first single banker. So if any time when you're doing your autopsies and using this selection method, anytime you see 3 or more players, that's 3 losses. These losses don't matter because we're not betting. So we bet one time that this would be a streak, and it got that answer. We bet a second time and got that one. We bet a third time and got that one. So that's 3 straight losses. We went down 175, down 275, down 425. Now here, on that single banker, we came back in with a $425 bet, and we got the repeating bet there. So we cashed the 425. We don't continue chasing. This has the safety measures of stopping. So even though we got these other 2 bankers there, we're not betting there. And then we got to flip back. And so we go from the 575 to the 425 bet there, and it wins. And so now we're out again. We wait to this, we try here, and this is a more interesting way of looking at it. At the 425, we go to 275, we lose there, we go to 425, we win again, because it didn't go down to the third. The third is the killer. That's when you have the 3 straight losses. And then here, we win right away. We waited, and we won right away. And so that concluded the session. If we look at it, player started out with what? 3, 6, 12, 14, 15, 16. Player has 19. But if you look after here, you can see how much the banker came back and dominated. Now, right here, I was thinking of, and I'll tell you this, because you've got to do the Peyton Manning call your Omaha. You got to call your own audible if you want to. You can tell from here, because this game is so actuarial, that the player is not going to dominate all the way through. And they're dominating right here because they're up 14-1 right here. There's 13 pluses on the player side. I would say right here, after this bet here, you could flat bet banker and see how many units you can get ahead. You might get ahead 2 or 3 units. Now, don't play it the rest of the shoe, but I would set a goal of like saying, okay, I bet $100 on the banker here and he hit it, right? So then maybe bet 100 here, maybe bet 50 here. Go down or manage your betting. Not necessarily flat betting, but you could flat bet it, just 100, 100, 100, and you'd win 3 there, lost 1, you're up 200. After this win, you win 2 more, you're up 400, 500, lost there, 1 there, lost 2, and then you come back with 5 wins, and you can see from here on, there are 4, 7, 8, 10, 13, 15 bankers, and there are 2, 4, 5, so a 3-to-1 margin in that correction. And that'll happen frequently when you get this kind of start, but you don't get that kind of start very often. But when I saw it tonight, I was going to deviate, then I thought, no, let's don't throw that curveball in here tonight, not like that. Let's let everybody see playing it straight up the way we're playing it, off of the single banker trigger, 3 bets deep maximum, following the 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, 17, 23, 31 betting, and letting the bet pull it out for us, which is what we did, because we lost several times, but the bet kept pulling us out. And then, of course, when it finally did turn and you win 2 hands here at the end, winning this one, then winning that one, that gave us all the money. So BLLLC wins again. And I think all of you who are here every other night with me now for, the last year, you've seen that sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's kind of middle of the road, sometimes it's hard. I wouldn't have called tonight's hard, but I wouldn't have called it easy either. It was kind of a middle of the road thing that you had to stay concentrating and getting the right bet down at the right time, not making any mistakes, staying disciplined, and getting the money. And so BLLC is now up right at $2,000 on their bankroll. So we're going to continue this session just a little bit longer because BLLC is out there in the kingdom. This is reality. He does have a bankroll of 20,000. I'm trying to be very careful and precise in showing how I play it. I will tell you a little bit about this gentleman, BLLC. He's a very good player. He's smart. He's experienced, and he looks over exactly what he wants to do. And he's playing with discretionary money. He's certainly not a millionaire, but he's playing with money that if he were to lose it, he wouldn't be stepping off of a bridge. And we don't want anybody ever playing that kind of money because the casino is the toughest road game in the world, even though we have identified ways to win all the time. And this is put out there. As many people want to tune into this can. As I said, King John saw the guy up at the Rivers Casino in Chicago playing almost exactly banker chop single and pair player banker streaks one banker. That still is absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I was trying to simplify it and also bring a little bit stronger selection method into it with this play here. As to whether it actually is or not, I'm going to rely on you guys to tell me what you think, because you know what it's like to play banker chop single and pair player, banker streak single banker. It gives it to you every time. So if you were to do it right here, okay, so you lost 2 bets there. You didn't lose 3 because you're only playing single and pair player. And then you play right here, and there's your wins. And there's your wins. So it wouldn't have been it's kind of like a distinction without a difference. It wouldn't have been a real difference if we'd been playing the other way. Both ways work very well. As a matter of fact, I think that BLLC prefers to play banker chop single and pair player, banker streak single banker. In any event, one of the things that we're trying to do is we're trying to match up the aggressive style of betting that we do with a selection method that will guarantee 30% or more wins. It doesn't sound like a lot to get 30% wins, but if you go into a casino, you'll see people that they can't even win 30% of the time. That this kind of game that we're playing here, we're winning at 40, 42, 48, sometimes 50 or above. And at those rates, that's when you had the very easy sessions. So you guys come back with me if you would, and we're going to do this again, a couple more sessions with BLLC, and then I'm going to branch off into some other things. But I wanted to cover the IU Miami thrilling national championship game that we had, and that we're all getting settled in to try to get through the January and February cold winter that we have that we're all going to deal with. So. Dagsley says the move from single P and single B to pair P. That's what I'm saying. If you find something that wins for you, the king is not going to step on your toes and tell you don't do it. This is your money, and this is your way of playing. Now, I'm going to tell you how I would play, and this is how I do play. But this is how I plan on playing when I get back out to Vegas, which is going to be upcoming. I just got to plan it out now. But we're gonna find out where we're going with this, and also I'm going to encourage anybody out there who wants to be a part of the investment party on this next trip to reach out to me, and you can just Zelle me if you want, and I'll put you in the mix at the level that you Zelle, or if you want to talk to me about it, you can call me or email me, and we can discuss it. But we have methods that we're playing. We have a little pot of money that we're going to go with. And if there's more of you who want to be involved with it, you're certainly welcome to do so. So that's it for tonight. I have pretty much covered what I'm going to cover, and BLLC gained their money again. Thanks for joining for tonight. You can hit a like on the way out. I would appreciate it. That's kind of nice. We're not really monetized though because of the amount of viewership, but I'm actually quite fine with the amount of viewership because uh, I know that this way of playing wins money. I know there are people out there that are using it, and I'm perfectly happy with that. Like as I said, this is my legacy, is giving away that we can make money at a casino, because people think they make money at a casino, but 99% of the people don't. Most people lose all the time. And if you go to casino enough and you observe enough, you see exactly what we're talking about. You'll be at the baccarat table like Chuck Ritter is, like Kevin Sprouse is, and like Casey Steve is, and others, and me and Joe Gorecki when we were out at the Rio. And there will be everybody around you will lose all of their money and be walking away, and you're still at the table. Or you will leave the table with your money really fast and see other people are still just losing away, because that's the way the game goes with people. Brian Belvin, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, Ron, how you doing, buddy? Good to have you tonight. So we won money again for BLLC. We're going to win every night. It's just a matter of how long it takes. Quick sometimes, a little bit longer others, but we're going to get it done the same way we do. And you can simulate it yourself and see that it works. I do thousands of simulations, and so this is just kind of a break for me, just doing the one session here because of all the sessions that I do. But the whole point of this is to get your money and get out, and that's the way we're going to do it. To all of you, have a great night. Robert Simpson, good evening, and to all of you, I appreciate you. The winners are at the cage. That's exactly right, Ron. Yes, they are. Okay, love you all. Thank you. Have a great night. I'll see you in a couple of nights.